let me make sure this is actually going. Yep, okay. So in Final Cut, I've already set up just importing some stuff. I assume everybody who's working in Final Cut knows how to import, so I'm not going to recap that. But the same thing as when we set up in Premiere, I put the video on video 1 and audio 1 and 2, then locked those tracks to make sure I don't move it. For inserting files, let me delete these guys. And I'm going to zoom in a bit. I got a little bit of growling stuff for us to look at here. Let's see when this guy first comes out. I've got a growl to add in. Yeah, that works for a growl point. One little quirk in Final Cut. You can use the keyboard shortcuts to insert audio files, but if you want to click and drag them, there's that little growl. You have to click on this little hand with the speaker. Not the file, the hand with the speaker. So let's say I want to drop this growl right here. Zoom in on that so we can actually see it. Then in Final Cut, right now I have waveforms turned on so we can see waveforms in the timeline, and it's Option Command W to show waveforms or not, so we can actually see what we're doing. If you want to see the track keyframes, like in Premiere what we were looking at, you have to have this little thing that looks like a mountain on, then you can see the keyframes. I don't think Final Cut differentiates between track and clip keyframes. Am I wrong on that? Does anyone know if they differentiate? I haven't found any way to change it. What? So that's one of those things that I love about Premiere, that you can make that decision of is this on the clip or is it on the track. So if I double click on this clip and pull it up here, I could change volume in my viewer or volume here, and it's going to do the same thing. So you have a couple options in here. Zoom this guy out so we see the whole thing. Wrong way. All right. I'm going to add a keyframe and bring the level down. Then let's say we want him to growl louder, so there's another keyframe, bring it up. Then let's say over here, I'm going to add another keyframe, or K, I think adds keyframes in Final Cut. No, it's not doing that. And then bring the level, let's go all the way down. So if I play this, there's that really quick growl with the fade up and down. Again, you could, just like in Premiere, adjust those keyframes in the timeline, where you can click on it, move it, go up and down. Let's have them go to quiet and then loud again. Little odd noise. There is a mixer tool. I'm going to change my arrangement to audio mixing. And there is a mixer tool here. It doesn't have all the different options Premiere does. It's basically you're writing keyframes or you aren't. I'm going to throw just a couple of clips in here so we have a little bit more to work with. Hurt, roar, whatever. And then we'll do a roar and a death roar. So I'm going to turn on, up here is where you turn on if you're recording keyframes or not. I'm going to record audio keyframes and turn the volume down here so that the other classes aren't like, what's going on? Then as I play, I can do the same thing with holding on to this, and then it's written those keyframes. Then I'm going to turn off write keyframes, and I can go in and adjust my keyframes. Cool. So that's some of how this carries over to Final Cut. I really do prefer Premiere for audio mixing because that's about all you can do other than the filters in Final Cut. There's a whole lot more for me to show you guys in Premiere later of how you can send buses and do different effects. which to the best of my knowledge just doesn't exist in Final Cut. You can pan and change levels and add effects to clips, and I think that's it. Any questions on Final Cut? All right, let me stop this recording.